And then finishing with Big Man Media, which you might have already noticed on Mixed Reality Rig, which is set up here. Tom will be talking to us about mixed reality. I'm going to ask you if that's okay to hold any questions you might have, because our speakers will be here for the rest of the evening, so we have lots of chance to talk to them, just so we can kind of keep it nice and tight on time and allow you enough time to network and maybe have one or two beers. So also a big thank you for everyone who's demoing, so make sure you do get a chance to kind of play with some of the really cool demos we've got on the floor. We've got Fracture Games in there, demoing, Ramjam and Big Man over here. We've also got Slacker Games right at the back, which is they're showing on their new game, and Avitia just on that table there, and also Make It Real with the PlayStation demo at the back. Just to check, who here has come to Fusebox before? Should get a show of hands. So some new faces as well. That's good. Okay, fantastic. If you do have any questions, can I get hands up from everyone, Wild Sussex staff? Just okay. So if you need anything, have any questions, find those people. There's a registration. Oh, I'm leaning far too close to me in there. If you have any questions, there's a registration desk as well. So please come and find us. There is also going to be lots of opportunity to be involved in the community going forward. So we'll be sending around details about how to join the Slack community that we're going to be setting up around VR. So you have the chance to continue your conversations you've had tonight, share cool things that you've seen, and also we're working with lots of very interesting agencies I kind of have to be very vague about at the moment. And the only way you can find out about what's going to be happening in the very near future, so lots of kind of interesting stuff that we're working with some organisations in London around VR. Only way you can find out about that is to join the Slack community, so please do sign yourself up. We are going to have another meetup in December, number 3. Oh, I didn't cue that, that's perfect timing. So make sure you sign yourself up. We're also looking for speakers and people to demo, so if you do have anything interesting, please come and find me. I'd love to speak to you. Then, very finally, make sure you do tweet. We've got our hashtag here of VR Brighton, and also we've also kind of put the Twitter handles for everyone who's demoing as well, so make sure if you've had a really cool experience to share that on social. So, that is me. I'm going to introduce our very first speaker, Jonathan. I'll welcome you to the stage. Round of applause for Jonathan.
Hi everyone, hope you're well.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Oh, hello. Marvellous, thank you. So I thought I'd just sort of start off in a way preaching to a lot of the people in here, the converted if you like, but also I guess provide some context. As with all new industries, there is a lot of confusion, new acronyms, new terminologies. So what we at Ramjam try to think about is from a human point of view rather than a tech point of view. So this potentially could be the first. The only challenge with this is presenting like this. I can't have eye contact with you, but you can just look at the screen. So I've always wanted to have be a bit of a beardy. I guess the point is that there is a human thing behind why people are so excited by AR and VR, and that's principally because a third of our brain is dedicated to visual processing. So we are visual creatures innately. The challenge has been the tools that we've used to access digital information have principally been keyboard, mouse, and then touch with the launch of the iPhone. Around 83% of our combined sensors are command by sight. So this is quite natural for people to start to use these tools. This is Masquerade, which Facebook bought the first quarter of this year. And I'm sure you've used FaceSwap on Snapchat. This is now social currency. So people are using computer vision, in this instance face tracking technology, as social currency. So it is in the mainstream. Snapchat kind of brought AR, I guess, into the mainstream. But when people talk about is it happening, is it about to happen, the platform shift is here now. So the platform shift, as we see it, is, we'll try and play around with this. This is good fun. There we go. That was probably the first face-tracked presentation in the world. So, there's a platform shift happening from desktop to mobile to computer vision. So every 15 years, there is a seismic shift. What we're seeing at the moment is, if you go back to the 1990s, it was very much about internet of information. So it's about accessing through portals like Yahoo information. Then you have the internet of services, so Google products, Amazon shopping, etc. Principally through mobile phones. Internet of people, really in the kind of 2010s, from there on, have really, I guess, kind of taken the next wave of how people interact on the web. And really the Internet of Things in 2020 and onwards will be one way people interact, what we like to think about as zero UI. So the idea is that using our eyes, making our eyes smarter through, in effect, everything in AR and VR is about putting a lens in front of you and making the world around you smarter or immersing you in a different world. So this is classic computer vision. It's not perfect, but it's actually an app for the blind. And what it does in real time, so it's got people, it will start to recognise objects around you and picks up moods. It even does colour. So really what computer vision is trying to do is trying to, in real time, kind of understand around you. It always gets a laugh. It's always trying to, I guess, understand the world around you and provide you with more intelligence, which is always useful. Now it's crashed. Okay, we'll move on from that. So I guess what we're seeing is this seismic shift in computing to visual interfaces, so zero UI. People have either a smartphone camera. Camera's one of the most used things in a smartphone, and headsets and lots of other devices which will allow us to see things around us in a different way. There is this kind of continuum to the virtuality continuum. Is on one side you have the real world, on the other side you have the virtual world. And people talk about AR and VR. The reality is, from all the speakers tonight, you'll see a combination of things that are all on that continuum. They're pretty much the same, the two sides of the same coin. So we really approach projects not on the platform or the technology, but actually what the end use case is for the consumer. So I'm going to give you an example of something we did close to home. Never worked with animals, children, and okay, we'll skip that part.
Let's go.
Okay. So, interestingly, it's gone blue. So, the idea is you can have a bit of fun. So this is just using image recognition, triggering off a marker. In hands in the room in terms of who's experienced an AR experience before, so quite a few of you. So triggering off of products or markers in the real world. You can have a lot of fun with it. Make the digital content on top of that physical asset interactive. You can actually go onto the big wheel and have a VR-esque kind of experience. You can tap fill here. You can tap fill. Here we go. There he is. Hey. There's Phil up in the air. You can bring him down to earth by tapping the balloons. Smash up Ramjam a little bit. There's quite a lot that you can do, I guess, in terms of triggering digital content off of physical assets. So, what we're trying to do, this is going incredibly wrong trying to present on an iPhone, but I feel like a bit of shit and give it a laugh to go. So, there's all the technology out there. So, how do we make it meaningful? I think quite a few people in this room have worked in the sector for a while. A lot of it's been magical. This is a really good example of something that was good fun. There's a lot of roller coaster rides in the VR space, but really what we're trying to do is move from magical to doing something really meaningful, and actually working with clients on something that's ultimately measurable. A lot of the briefs that we get have been advertising-led, so brand-led, but actually a few briefs that I can talk a little bit about, I can't disclose too much at the moment, is in the field of market research. So one example is, at the moment, when you are designing a car, they actually make a clean, full-scale model of that car to research people's perception of the design features, a full-scale model of the car in clay, which seems extraordinary. What we are proposing they do is, whether it's a car or an FMCG product like washing powder, is to place a 3D model into the virtual environment that this is using. This is, is it AR, is it mixed reality? It's actually a technology called simultaneous location and mapping. And what it does is it's markerless, so you don't need to have a marker to trigger the experience, but you can place a 3D object into a room and manipulate it. So it can be full scale. If you go to full scale, you can actually walk into it, and then you're inside the car. Down a bit. And then what you could do is actually get people's feedback on the style of the car, the colour, different design features. There we go. Sunny day. So make the feedback loop for product design, research into new products more intuitive. The difference is, at the moment, research firms pretty much pen and paper. So it's observed behaviour that they're capturing. This, in effect, can be real time. So everything that's happening here is, in effect, data that the research firm can capture. They can then scale it to a much broader sample. So a great big one-to-one scale clay car in a room, maybe get 500 people. You can scale this via an app to thousands, potentially. So economies of scale in terms of the sample size, but also the data feed they get from research into a product before they start building it. The other area that we are quite interested in is the idea of placing people into virtual experiences. So at the moment, observed behaviour in shopping malls, actually placing into a virtual space and having observed behaviour around what that person is doing, so understanding their behaviours. Another area I think is quite exciting from a meaningful perspective is to, within healthcare and mental health, to actually place people that say phobias into a virtual space and put them in a controlled environment and actually start to manipulate that environment after completing clinical trials to help them overcome their phobia. So I think the really core here is that there's a seismic shift happening. This will happen pretty quickly. There's a lot of people in this room that are involved in it. It is fairly natural, I think, for consumers. The adoption around Google Daydream and PlayStation coming out as good Christmas presents this year will accelerate it further. And finally, really, it's about moving from magic to really meaningful experiences for people. Thank you.